Hello, SpeedGaming. Welcome to another Metroid Prime Randomizer weekly race. My name is Sasquatch. I am joined in the booth here by Sean. Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good to hear.
Yes, today, what settings are we using today?
So today is even week. We've got random elevators starting random elevators, and this week is actually the first week that we're going to start using Randomania now that Prime 1 is official.
Randomania 302 is being used. It also supports multiple versions of Prime 1, so
Yeah, and chat points out interesting take on Randomania is Randomania does not have point of no return logic. So yes, we could get vanilla bombs, we could get vanilla plasma. Those are all locations that are on the table. And I think we are just waiting on one more person to ready up in the race time, and then we should be on our way.
yes, so due to the difference in logic, people in chat are just speculating about different items being vanilla. Because, sometimes there are actually many items in these games that would be actually harder to get vanilla in a randomizer.
On
Like
that
vanilla
note, is there
plasma,
anything specifically that you want to see, Sean?
not sure I want to see anything specific. I just hope this is a nice seed and the runners have fun.
You know, I've seen vanilla space jump a couple of times. That one's a fun one.
I have two. I wasn't using Randomania, but my first randomizer run actually had vanilla space jump.
I think based on the tricks we have enabled for this week, it's less likely. But our kind
Our
of
trick set.
proposed
Entry
tournament
level.
preset has the scan dash to alcove and logic. I think we're still kind of gonna spend the next week voting and working out the settings. So we kind of got a pseudo preset for this week. So we are waiting on Reed to ready up in the race time, who just did. So we should be on our way here momentarily. And looks like we are off.
So Let's see. Talent
So
overworked. Space jump boots. Great.
a good starting item. And both are using Fusion Suit. So it looks like we're starting in the vanilla main plaza elevator. Didn't see if they checked what elevator that is.
I didn't either.
Inner Slice pulled up the map, but I didn't quite see it. It was a little quick.
I was very quick. So
I saw
the alcove
Chozo.
contains a missile.
And
It's
more
another missile.
missiles behind the ship. Ott is saying Sun Tower. So
Okay, so both our runners
requires
here
more
will be
fall.
checking the hints immediately.
So in that case, likely we're going to see more fall here or in Transport Tunnel B. But it also depends on what the root cave elevator is. And there is bombs on Artifact
Bombs.
Temple.
So still no North Ball. Okay, collecting the hints.
See if either of the runners decide to check them right away.
We have 6 artifacts, right?
Yes, that is correct. And looks like neither deciding to check artifact hints right away.
I'm guessing right now they're just more focused on getting their bearings and a few basic upgrades.
Yeah, getting some progression first.
Yeah, so they can actually go get the artifacts as soon as they check, because if you don't have much in if you don't have much in the field of movement, it's hard to actually get any.
Yeah. And there is more fall in Transport Tunnel B. Inner Slice choosing not to check the elevator. TGC, interestingly enough, went for Root Cave Dash, but unfortunately fell down. And looks like Inner Slice is as well.
You see, got the dash, but
Inner
he
Slice
didn't get.
having Morphin Bombs means that they could go for Arbor Chamber out of bounds. Looks like they are. Whereas TGC does not, so he will be heading down.
He might go back and try again when he gets the morph ball.
And just a missile for both Root Cave and Arbor Chamber, so not super useful.
Okay, now Chris is going straight to the lift here. Goes to Fendrana.
Quarantine Cave. So they would need Wave at a minimum to get to Thardis, and then
Wave.
Ice if they wanted to do Far from Drana. Go towards
And
Gravity Chamber
also,
and such.
if they do fall into Tharda's cave, they might need Spider Ball unless they can get out of there without it. I'm
Yeah,
guessing they can.
it is an option, but based on these settings, Spider Ball is logically required to get out of Thardis, and Thermal is also logically required for Thermus or for Thardis as well.
We'll see.
So it doesn't really make sense as an option until you have that progression. Whereas with Morph and Bombs, they can do quite a bit in Chozo.
Apple Beam
There's
and
Crapple,
Hive Mecha.
Hive Mecha. And Plasma and Main Plaza Half Pipe. Plasma's a good thing to get early because it's one of those items that could be almost anywhere. Not quite as many places as Phazon, but it's up there.
Yeah, Plasma. Oh, Spider Ball was in the Ruined Shrine.
And Gravity Suit on Upper Ruin Shrine.
Oh, good. We don't have to look at Varia.
Inner Slice now going to check where the main plaza elevator leads.
So far, the seed has been very, very generous.
Yeah, we've got a decent amount of progression so far. Main plaza elevator goes to Twin Fires. With Spider, they could get towards Workstation if they got Wave. Otherwise, they need Varia to do the rest of Magmore.
Okay, so Vault Ledge contains a nothing item, and the Vault contains a missile combo, which could be a super missile or a flamethrower. I can never tell.
To me, it looked kind of purplish, so probably Wave Buster.
I thought it looked red.
You know, it is a little hard to tell on the restream, so
Yeah, it is.
my guess is as good as yours.
With things that look so similar, apart from color,
That
it's hard to
looks
not
like,
see what you
yeah,
want to see.
TGC going for the Flogger Skip and Ruin Fountain to get nothing.
Correct.
Which, oddly, to me, and I'm assuming to TGC as well, which is why he went for it, looked like a lot like Phazon.
Yeah, nothing does use a suit model, so it can look like Phazon if you don't pay much attention to
Yeah.
it. I think it's also grayscale, which definitely helps the illusion.
Yeah, there are some
Yeah,
colors
apart
that
from the
make
noise
it
on
awfully
it.
close. Yeah. So chat saying if it was supers involved, neither runner wanted it. With having bombs and morph, if it was supers, I believe both runners would have went for it.
Yeah, so if it was red, it was flamethrower, and if it wasn't red, it was still not required.
And there is a Varia suit in Watery Hall Underwater.
So that explains the couple of E-tanks they got. That's another nothing item.
Yeah, quite a few nothing items so far.
Ice
There
beam.
is Ice Beam.
And on the top is a missile.
Yeah, it's always nice when you have Spider going into Dynamo. Means you don't have to orphan the
Yeah.
upper check. We are getting artifact hints. Training Chamber, Main Quarry, Ice Ruins West, Fungal Hall Access,
Storage Depot A, Fungal Hall B, great.
and
An infamous location.
I missed one of them, but I think I got 5 of them written down.
All of the artifacts are in phase online. That's
Inner Slice going towards Zoid.
Slices just now checking the hints.
Ice
Very
Ruins
quickly.
West, that's the one I missed.
Yes, somebody in chat just sent every single location.
Did you see going for Magma Pool with the Power Bomb expansion they have? Just getting a missile.
It's unfortunate he doesn't have Wave Beam. There is an item in there, isn't there?
TDC likely heading to Zoid as well.
Ignoring the missile.
I'd say going this way is a good choice, because with Plasma and Ice, they can get both Hall of the Elders items, Crossway, Upper Furnace if they do the climb, and Lower Furnace.
Yes,
So, as far as Farfandrana, with that wave, the only item that they would have access to is transport access. Which I'd say better to check these other locations first before heading towards that one. Because if it's not progression, then that's a required backtrack.
our furnace contains a missile expansion.
looks like upper furnace is just a nothing item.
Either nothing or like iced feather, because I saw white. Uh, yeah, so um, there is some cutscene skipping in the setting, right?
There is. So there is a setting for minor cutscenes on Randomania, which is what is on for this preset. None of the major cutscenes are skipped, like the boss cutscenes. Um, there has been some discussion on minor cutscenes, on having some kind of alternate competitive option for cutscenes, but we'll kind of see because there's certain cutscenes that even though they mildly affect gameplay, they still affect gameplay, and some people have argued that they better to not be enabled in a competitive setting.
Okay, so the only cutscenes that should be disabled according to the community are cutscenes that
It's
impact gameplay.
yeah, it's still a point of discussion, so there it's not quite finalized on what the decision's going to be, but there is discussion about it.
Okay. I'll be quickly switching networks, so if I suddenly disappear, that's why.
Okay. Inner slice saving here. Wonder if they're thinking about doing Flagra or if they're going to go towards Twin Fires instead, which is where the main plaza elevator goes.
I do have spiders, so if they wanted, they could potentially do reverse flagra.
Yeah. It Bosses are always a gamble though, because if it's not progression, that is a lot of time wasted. And I think
Well, flagra
people in
though
general
holds
for a
two items,
race,
like the sun chamber holds two
yeah,
items.
but just based on the sheer amount of time that bosses take, for the most part, people like to skip bosses in races. And Inner Slice is indeed heading to Twin Fires. TGC going with a warp to start. That is another new feature with Randomania that Bash's program did not have.
Yes, a feature that was already in Randomizer for Echoes has come to Line 1. You can teleport back to the starting room by simply going to the save station, holding both shoulder buttons, or rather triggers, and selecting no.
Yeah. Inner Slice found the main power bombs at Fiery Shores. That's good. Don't have to worry about power bomb management as much.
The lift in here goes to phase on mines. I couldn't
Okay, it goes
see
to Phase on
where.
Processing Center.
Oh,
Inner Slice could have chosen to at least check the item in Phase on Processing Center since they now have power bombs, but deciding not to. And X-Ray
X-ray
Visor and Warrior
visor.
Shrine.
So just in case they need to, they can fight that one boss I keep forgetting the name of.
Omega Pirate.
Yeah, Omega. They have to, they at least can.
Just a missile in Triclops Pit.
Now they might fight Omega anyway, since a couple of artifacts are very deep in the mines.
Yeah, that's a good point. With an artifact in Fungal Hall B, that puts them awfully close to Omega Pirate. And I think at that point, it is faster to fight Omega Pirate versus trying to backtrack out.
Yeah. The whole section is basically a huge semicircle, so
Lava Lake Elevator goes to Reflecting Pool Far End. So that leads to a check in Antechamber and then another elevator from the save station.
yes, they can. There's also that one item in there, so I think I was on his number.
And Boost
That's
Ball
Boost Ball.
for Inner Slice.
Right, so they can also climb back up.
Inner Slice choosing to
Yeah, it just
let
opened up the door. They just opened up
the
the door
barrier just
before
for,
coming back. For
yeah, just to
convenience,
make
just in
future
case.
routing easier. Yeah.
So, they'll also be checking the lift in here, which goes to Vendrana, I think I read.
Yep, this one went to Shorelines.
Was a storage cavern.
Storage cavern, if I remember correctly, was just a missile.
Yeah, it was. It was just a missile. So, its slice is at the shores of Vendrana, getting a missile from the plasma barrier there.
Did TGC check the Lava Lake elevator?
I don't remember.
Either way, it looks like TGC deciding to go dip Phazon Processing Center.
Meanwhile, Interslicer is going to check what's in the wave beam room here. And if it's not wave beam, they'll have to wait or ignore it. Looks like a missile expansion.
Missile expansion.
Chris is about to fight Elite.
Interesting decision to go farther into mines, as without wave they can't go towards the front of mines, and they could also go only as far as Central Dynamo for lower mines. But if, wave is down there, it would pay off.
Yes, if wave is down there, that would make it worth it at least, but it's a risky gamble.
And I believe I see wave in Fendrana Canyon.
That's wave, yeah. But wave's
So
in
Interslice
Fendrana
having all
Canyon,
beams now.
which means TGC is probably going to get trapped. Phazon Mines also has the elemental pirates, which means EGC is effectively almost powerless against the purple ones, unless he feels like wasting a few power bombs.
Yeah. So TGC does not have boost, so he's going to have to. I think that's the plan, is to go down to Central Dynamo, which is as far as he can go, and then using warp to start from the save station there.
As warping to start is a pretty useful feature. It allows you to be a bit more reckless without soft locking yourself. Yes, you can warp to start now.
Inner Slice in Labs now. Doesn't have supers to grab the item in Hydra. Luckily has X-Ray to peek the item, like a nothing item.
Yes, you do need supers to break those.
Inner Slice using a dash here to get up Observatory a little faster.
I don't
Getting
think you
flamethrower.
need the missile launcher to use missiles in Prime 1 with Metroidvania. I think the first expansion you get just gives you the launcher. Every other expansion just gives you expansions.
Yeah, so the launcher is the logical first missiles, but it's not a hard requirement currently with Randomizer, like it can be for Echoes.
And you can't choose right now, right?
Yes, it is not an option right now. TGC finding supers at Frigate Crash Site.
In chat I've seen speculation about Phazon and Biohazard.
It's definitely a possible place that it could be.
Okay, so Chris is now doing Arbor Chamber.
Unfortunately,
He
gonna find
did,
out that it is just a
yeah,
missile.
he didn't have multiple when he first climbed. Meanwhile, Interslice in the caves in Pendrana. They are about to check the gravity suit location. There's a missile on top, and at the bottom,
I
I
believe
can
that
see
is
that very
phase
well.
on
That's
suit.
Phazon. Great.
That
Phazon
should
is
be. I believe that's go mode for inner slice. There's nothing else required to get the artifacts.
They don't need supers, do they?
Um, Let me double check the artifact locations.
Now let me see the locations.
Training chamber access, main quarry, Fungal Hall A access, Fungal Hall B, storage depot, ice ruins west. No, they do not need supers for the artifacts.
Okay, so yeah,
Um,
it's nice can just start collecting all of them now.
TGC, unfortunately, still looking for wave.
As he might not have seen where the lift you asked about earlier goes.
And our slice getting ice spreader and transport access. And generally, beam
Other
combos
horses
are
are
not.
enabled, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So ice spreader could actually help a bit. Which artifact is the furthest away for Interslice? I'm not sure. I did memorize the
Um,
lift. I did memorize the
if I were
lifts.
to guess, the main quarry elevator is one of the workstation elevators. I think it has to at this point.
That might be. Also,
It's hard to
there's
tell.
always a couple of um artifacts in deep mines. Okay, so I do think TGC doesn't remember about that one lift because he seems to have gotten a bit mad when he saw what was inside the tree here.
Yeah, I don't know if
He
they
might be a
actually
bit
checked it.
confused. Might be a bit confused. He needs to go to Magmore and
Oh, we haven't seen the frigate crash site elevator yet, so this one could also be main quarry. If
oh
not,
yeah.
it leads to one of the workstation elevators.
Okay, so uh Chris is about to go fight Flagra, or rather go
Yeah,
destroy the completely harmless version of Flagra.
yep, doing flag reverse. And yes, frigate crash site was
And
indeed main quarry.
since he's not gonna find Wave on it, he might also do the ghost.
That's very likely.
That's both items in the sun chamber.
Inner slice double checking the artifact locations.
Yes, so Slice is about to get the artifact here in the main quarry, which puts them at 2 artifacts. Yes, about the new font colors, I think it might be a bit better to make the actual locations green or something. Pops more.
Yeah, I think green is reserved for joke hints, similar to echoes. Just to use
Yeah,
that same
well,
color
I
for
mean,
consistency.
just any color that pops when compared to orange,
Yeah.
because as it is right now with that like kind of pinkish color, I think it's a bit hard to notice immediately. Like when I open the hint, like when I see the hint at first, the first thing that I see, that I notice, is the name of the artifact, which is worthless information, basically. So,
Yeah.
I
So yeah,
I think, I think it would be better if a color was chosen for those things that put more importance on put more focus on the location
yeah.
itself.
So I do agree that the red color is better as far as just the general color theme goes. But personally, as someone who's red-green colorblind and pretty severe red-green colorblind, I do like the new hint colors because they pop quite a bit in the menu and don't blend in as much.
Looks like SpeedGaming 5 is done with, what was it, Super Metroid Bingo or something?
Yeah, SpeedGaming 5 rating with a party of 56. Welcome in, everybody. This is the Metroid Prime Randomizer weekly race. Inner Slice is currently in Go mode, just grabbing artifacts, whereas the Ginger Chris is still looking for a couple of progression items.
As Chris is missing both Boost Ball and Wave Beam, also Phazon Suit.
Now, going back to our discussion earlier about based on where the artifacts are, that it would be faster to route through Omega Pirate. With Randovania, they now have the option of warping to start. I don't know if that necessarily puts
So,
Inner Slice closer to the other artifacts or not. Because again, I can't quite remember the elevator connections off the top of my head.
well, it's hard to remember the lift connections when they're randomized.
Inner Slice still choosing to look at items. Probably on the off chance that Thermal is on the way, just to help with final bosses.
Yeah, it just helps a bit. For Chris, he's been in Chozo for a while now. I think he might actually try doing the Tower Flight before he actually goes to Fundrano. PGC did fight Flagra, he did reverse Flagra, and also came back to fight the ghosts.
So, going into Flagra from the backside doesn't trigger the ghosts immediately. What it does, though, however, is it does not trigger Flagra to wake up. So
Yes,
you can
it
actually
prevents
just jump to
Flagra.
the bomb slots and not have to worry about actually dealing with the swipes and the other attacks.
It slices going deeper into the mines, right where the artifacts are. There are three. Oh my god, four.
Yeah, so Inner Slice has Fungal Hall B left, and I believe Training Chamber Access is the last one for him.
I think so too, yeah. Doing fungal halls
So,
in the dark is always such a treat to see.
so based on TGC's minimap, they indeed did not go to check this elevator here.
Yes, so
So they were not aware of where this elevator went, which is
so
Reflecting Pool,
he's
which
probably
then leads.
about to leave and actually get the items he was looking for. Hopefully.
Actually, I believe this was Shorelines, wasn't it? No, it's Reflecting Pool and then Shorelines. So TGC will also get their boost ball.
I'm not
And looks
sure
like
if
Inner
triple
Slice is
bingo
indeed going
tournament
to
is happening
use
now.
Warp to start.
Yeah, that's definitely faster than doing an entire boss.
Uh,
Oh,
which makes sense because one of the early
oh
elevators was Sun
Int
Tower.
Slice, Int Slice wasn't sure how to warp. They assumed it worked like it does in Echoes. Okay, so Chris is now in Fandrana, which means he is probably about to get his essential items and move on. Gonna
Yeah,
take a while, and Int Slice is more, but at least he's not stuck in Chozo anymore.
yeah. So warping to start was definitely the most convenient way to route this. I'm gonna go grab the training chamber access artifact, and Inner Slice will be on his way to final bosses. Wait, was it training chamber was the artifact? Not
think
training
it
chamber
was.
access?
Uh,
So I wrote that down wrong.
yeah.
So yeah, boost was required
Yeah.
unless either runner wanted to do the wall crawl.
And super missiles were handy in taking care of the ghosts. Definitely not required, but just made things a bit easier. So Slice has collected the last artifact. Now, where does the where do where does Interslice need to go back to the overworld?
Inner Slice just needs to go back through the Sun Tower elevator that leads to Talon Canyon. So, pretty close.
And in the meantime, TGC is about to get a wave beam just now. Which is
Yeah,
unfortunate
unfortunately missing.
since Interslice got it before 30 minutes.
Yeah. And Inner Slice with a 54-minute ship save.
TGC just got his first artifact. Meanwhile, Interslice is fighting Metal Ridley. Oh, so about the hint colors. You said you're colorblind. You're colorblind, right? Red and green.
I am. Yep, severe red-green.
So, what colors might help with that?
So actually the current hint colors being purple and blue actually stand out quite a bit. I really like it. Whereas the original kind of reddish colors blended in quite a lot.
Yeah, well, everything else is orange, so
Yeah.
making the text red doesn't really make it pop out. Older colors might work a lot better. I think for the location color, I would have used a stronger shade of blue, but the one used right now is just, I think it's too bright, and it does kind of, at least for me, it kind of blends in a little, especially compared to the purple text for the name of the artifact.
Yeah. Interslice finishing up Ridley. Gonna be heading into the Exo
Synthesizers,
and Essence fights.
yeah, synthesizers going to the impact crater. Meanwhile, TGC is probably looking for the Phazon suit, which was in Fendrana, so by being back in Chozo, he's making a huge mistake. Unless he's looking for an artifact. Uh, were there any artifacts in here? Oh, he's gonna
Yes.
get the one in the antechamber. Oh, I'm sorry, the training chamber. So he's going for that one. As for hint colors, it might help a lot to have options to actually customize the hints and choose your own colors. That would be
Yeah.
very nice.
So Interslice heading into the Metroid Prime fight. First stage is the exoskeleton, where we have 4 subchambers. So in subchamber 1, you have the power beam and the wave beam vulnerability, and those can be in any order. Second subchamber adds in ice. Third subchamber adds in plasma, and then the fourth subchamber can be random. Exo can choose to switch colors whenever they want.
Alright. So Chris just got the second artifact. Slice is in subchamber 1, I think. That's still 1, right?
Subchamber 2 now.
Oh. There's the ice. Alright, subchamber 3 coming up.
And choosing not to use Ice Spreader, which is fair. If you're good with hitting your charge beam shots for ice, as far as I know, it is not that much faster to use Ice Spreader.
That's it.
Just having supers though does speed up the fight considerably.
Ice beam is the slowest beam in the entire game, so it might not make much of a difference to actually charge it even more and use ice spreader. No, X-Slice has used it, I think, at least once. I think I saw them use it.
Yeah, using it now on the turnaround, which skips most of the next phase. Very beneficial, especially because that one was Wave. Wave is one of the slower phases.
Especially if you don't have Wave Buster or, you know, don't have infinite missiles, which nobody does. Welcome to SpeedGaming
And
2, raiding with a party of 58.
yep, this is the Metroid Prime
This is Metroid
Randomizer
Prime.
Community Weekly.
Yes, weekly community randomizer.
Interslice is fairly close to finishing, whereas the Ginger Chris is still looking for Phazon Suit to finish the game.
Yes, unfortunately, a single decision in some seeds can mean losing so much time.
Yeah. Metroid Prime being a little trolly there, switching between those beams very quickly. And Interslice finishing off with Exo.
The exoskeleton, so we're about to fight the essence. So, where are all the E-tags? Like, could they be in frigate?
It's a good question. They haven't really found that many.
Yeah, they did find a couple early on, but overall, there weren't many E-tags around. Like, even Chris, who got many more items, only has 5. Whereas Interslice has 3.
So for the Essence fight, when you start the fight, Essence moves around for a little bit, and then after a certain amount of time, it drops a Phazon. What Interslice was doing there is called attack cancels. So waiting until the head animation resets, and then firing it. And what this does is it kind of forces the pull to be laid quicker. And then Interslice here is having to snipe Essence, just based on kind of trying to follow where the position is, because they do not have a thermal visor.
Yeah, Essence cycles through 3 different modes of visibility. One you can see with the normal visor, one you can see only with the thermal visor, and one you can only see with the X-ray visor. So not having any of these can be a bit annoying, but it's not technically strictly necessary. Unlike with Omega Pirate, where you do need to be in X-ray mode to damage it.
And that is time. Inner Slice is finished in first place with an official race time
Slice.
GG time of 105.16. GG's to Inner Slice.
It's 49, so if you want to round it up, it might actually be 15. Yeah, and Slice wins this round.
See if Inner Slice wants to come in for an interview.
Yes, let's see if... Luckily, the Prime Essence has rid Samus of the horrendous fusion phase-on suit and blessed her with her purple.
TGC in the meantime is now in phase on mines. Probably going to be grabbing their artifacts and also still looking for phase-on suit, which is unfortunately
In
in
Findrana.
Gravity
It was
Chamber.
in Findrana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Interslash.
And we are joined by Inner Slice. GG's.
Thank you.
So, what'd you think of that seed in general?
I was pretty worried that since Randomania likes to place artifacts early, that we'd get a super jet seed, but it wasn't that jet. It was pretty fast, but not terribly fast.
Yeah.
Well, as Chad pointed out, he got every single beam in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, pretty fast.
So he was being pretty generous, especially early on.
Yeah, pretty chozo loaded, I'd say.
Unfortunately, due to one too many wrong turns, TGC is way behind.
Looks like he doesn't have phase on suit, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
still at 3 artifacts.
So he initially didn't check the Lava Lake elevator.
Oh.
And
Yes, which
then,
would have turned out to be a gold mine, basically.
yeah. And then also decided to dip out of Findrana after getting Wave Beam.
So did he come in from the quarantine cave elevator?
No.
Oh,
He went
he
back he
went
went back to
through
Chozo
the...
and did
Yeah,
Flagra and some other checks,
Okay.
and then ended up going back through Lava Lake.
he got a lot of items in Charizard, just looking for wave, I presume.
Yeah, I was a little... Excuse me. I was a little worried that Wave would be back in Frigate Crash Site since I got Grapple and Gravity so early, but
Yeah.
it was a super that was
Yeah.
not needed at all.
Unfortunately, the frigate is probably filled to the brim with E-tanks.
Yeah, it was pretty light on E-tanks this seed.
TGC, you need to kill the Beam Pirates.
Oof.
Looks like
And that
TGC just
is
forfeited.
unfortunately a forfeit from
Unfortunately.
the Ginger Chris. Give it a moment. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview.
It's unfortunate, but ultimately it was a good call to just end it right then and there.
He did mention in the race time chat that he needs a few minutes to cool off. Understandably so.
I guess this kind of stuff can put a lot of stress on people.
Okay, looks like the Ginger Chris is choosing not to come in for an interview.
Oh,
So I think we're
promising.
going to start wrapping up things here. Anything else you'd like to say, Interslice, Sean?
We're going to be voting for the new Randomania presets for the weeklies this week, so if you're interested in voting for those, they're in the Metroid Prime
Oh
Randomizer
yes.
Discord.
It's
That's all I have to say.
it's that Google application thing, right?
That's the one for the tournament, which is also coming up soon.
Oh,
To
oh
plug
okay.
that, but we'll have something similar for the weeklies up soon.
Alright. Yeah, if you're interested in choosing how to, or at least voting on how to actually have the weeklies here function, you can do that.
And as always, as we wrap things up, go ahead and follow the runners, Interslice and the Ginger Chris. Shout outs to our tracker, Op82. Did a very good job keeping clicking all the buttons behind the scene. Go ahead and give him a follow, as well as my co-commentator, Sean.
And definitely check out Sasquatch too. You might even see them in the next race as a runner.
Possibly. Again, thanks to everyone who came to watch, and we will see you next mission.
See ya.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.